talking about their needs are, and we proposed our idea originally as to what we could do, and it didn't always match up so well with their interests. And so this was our original proposal, was to work with the states, look at, work with this particular group of regulators, look at the processes by which the states accept new technologies, and see if there's some commonality there and where we can perhaps learn from this. Maybe develop a New England-wide approach, but I mean, that is pretty pie in the sky. And I don't know if that's going to happen, at least not for a while. And we thought that it would be nice to pick a few technologies that represent different levels of innovation and acceptance that the states have looked at, and we can examine how they've looked at these and approved them. And the three were use of calcium hypochlorite briquettes, which was one that was really a little controversial in Massachusetts, believe it or not, and was assessed in the different regions, and in some regions of Massachusetts accepted, some not accepted.
You mean just straightforward tablet feeders?
Yeah, that's it.
Actually, we've had trouble with them in
Yeah, right, right.
They
So
give kind of like, we know chlorine, lots of chlorine.
yeah, right,
chlorine.
right.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no,
exactly what
they're
they're saying.
not a great technology, but
Right, right. So, some things you wouldn't expect to be a problem turn out to be. MIOX, mixed oxidation, and MIX, so we, incidentally, we did poll the nationwide group to see who's using these various technologies, and we're kind of, can I minimize this? Okay, all right, there we go. All right. So I used a different color scheme than Bruce, but it's not as intuitive as Bruce's. But nevertheless, this is the same idea from the same database that some states apparently have accepted the use of calcium hypochlorite, and some have not. And in some cases, like Massachusetts, it's not.
Like red.
Really, yes, red. Not approved, sort of, but not everywhere. And there's the example: hypochlorite briquettes. For MIOX, we have some that have definitely not approved, some that have, and some that
Yeah, I want to
just haven't.
retake this quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So how
Not
wrong-
evaluate.
So how wrong is this data? Is it, that's-
We have no idea, but how wrong is it?
We had people using MIOX.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no one's using it right now because no one thought
Uh-huh.
hated it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but there was a push for it.
So you never know exactly how the respondents, how much, yeah. What's okay?
because MIOX
Let me leave it at that.
is claiming to be a mixed oxidant. It's really just an on-site generation system.
Right.
It works very similarly to
Right.
the other ones that are on the market. And the
Yeah.
ones that are in operation in Colorado, they work fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but apparently some of the state regulators responded in a way that indicated they had not approved for,
Oh, yeah, some
for reasons that not sure.
The application.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've got one not too far from where I live that uses MIOX, so it's fine. Anyways, and then for MIX, there are a larger number that haven't apparently evaluated these.
Well, Massachusetts, there's one in place, so there's no way it's not evaluated in Massachusetts. It's operating.
I'm just reporting that
Okay.
it is. Yeah. And so this is essentially it. These two functions, and so really they're all going to be linked to vendor and products, and so those are the tags. We've talked to our website consultants at UMass who have helped us develop the WINS website, and they've got some ideas as to how we can do this. But that's going to be part of the testing and assessment as to how can we do this in a way that, as you say, is going to be meaningful to.
At what level of equipment are you getting down to?
Yeah.
Mhm, right, right.
The water plug.
No, the water plug is not probably a good example.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to
Mhm.
define it, because
Yep.
otherwise you get into SAP level.
Right.
type
No, we don't want
asset
that.
management.
We don't want that. And so you're absolutely right. That's something that we've got to work out, and that's why we're doing this for a relatively small number of systems, so that we
But
can
even
see.
that, you really gotta you have to essentially take the largest system
Mhm.
you can think of,
Mhm.
and the most complex, and model out what have, so you
Yeah.
can dive down into what
Right.
you think is a
Right.
reasonable level to do.
Yeah,
And really limit that,
Right.
and then figure out, for small systems, is that gonna be enough information for them?
yeah, and so the question is, you know, how much, I would be interested to see if you've got some suggestions as to how to make that division of what would be substantial enough in the form of a water treatment product to want to list on a database like this, and what is really just too minor and obviously we can't have everything that's in a water treatment plant on a database of this sort.
A while back, I tried to do that just to get a handle
Yeah.
on what processes we had at American Water. at
Yeah,
different
right,
plants.
right.
And, you know, so I kind of sketched things out. I came up with 60 or 70 questions. And then you also have to think, who's going to be filling these out, who's going to answer them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it became a
Very, very non-trivial.
Yeah. Well, if you take a look at the database here, for example, you'll notice, and this is really more the focus of not necessarily technologies and products that have long been accepted and that are not going to be, in fact, considered as new technologies. But if you look over here, 160, 161, this Massachusetts database that goes back to about mid-1990s has several hundred items that they've approved. And so this gives us a large number, but a finite number of products that are potentially in Western Massachusetts that we would work with. And so this helps us narrow it down. So
So you're looking almost for unique, so you have big database, but then you're
Mhm.
sorting for unique instances.
yeah. So, for example, and the water plug is probably not a good one. I don't know, SolarBee or something of that sort. Maybe would be a good one, a good example. And so this is one that had to be, in the wisdom of, and however they do it in Massachusetts, decided that they needed to evaluate this before they would approve it. And presumably some of the other New England states would want to do the same if they were confronted with a possible use of a SolarBee. And so those who have them and find that they need to talk to someone else who's using them could make use of this database. Those in other states who want to look at SolarBee as a potential new technology would want to then talk to the Massachusetts state drinking water regulator who worked on approving it, and also maybe talk to some of the units that are actually using it in Massachusetts. And so really the technologies are those that we would focus on, are those in this table right here. And so that does limit it to, as I say, probably a maximum of 200 or 250.
But being from interstate, like, a lot of that I wouldn't put on a database.
You would,
There's- I'd be limiting it to like arsenic removal, if that's media, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, even the SolarBees, I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a mixer.
Right.
Kind of set up. Yeah, go for it.
Mhm.
It's not gonna hurt anything. I'd probably keep it at a much higher level, just knowing
Yeah.
how many products there are.
Right. We probably have to
We
gear.
gotta move.
Yeah, we got to move on. Okay, sorry.
More
So
technical.
I would love to talk more about, but
Yeah.
okay. Pilot. Well, I'll return to that later. Let me stop here. Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you. Sorry to bring up something.
Dave, thank you. I think what you're doing is going to be helpful also nationally, just to start thinking through
The